What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Lobby of Hobbies. Thanks for entering. My name is Jazz. The idea here is we share the games that we enjoy in hopes that you discover something worth checking out. So with me today, I have a special guest who's a family of mine, my wife's cousin, NikeFlyFamily on Twitch. So if you're listening, follow him on twitch.tv/NikeFlyFamily. He's a video gamer, and the idea here with this stream is that we're going to be doing a thing that I call the challenge, which pretty much we're going to be taking people from all various of different types of hobbies, cultures, whatever the case may be, and we're going to introduce them to the board gaming hobby and try to see, can we get them involved, or what do they think about the modern board gaming hobby? Is this something that they would even entertain, try, share with their own family, whatever the case may be? So we got a video game streamer, Twitch streamer with us today. I'm going to introduce him, but be ready and stay tuned right after this. All right, so what's going on, AJ, NikeFly fan? What's going on down in Florida? Down in Florida, how's it going? How's the weather down there?
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. How's everything on your end?
Cold.
It's colder in my house than it is outside, so that's how we like it.
But I want to thank you for joining me, for accepting the invite, for being the first official one on the challenge here in the Lobby of Hobbies. Thank you so much.
I appreciate the invitation. Thank you.
Yeah, so again, the idea here with the challenge is that we're just pretty much, I want to just try my best to challenge myself, but also challenge others to take their, try their hand at, modern board gaming stuff outside of what the typical things that you're going to see at your stores, like the people, Monopoly, Sorry, Trouble, all like that. So let's get into you. I know you stream Twitch video games. Tell me a little bit about your channel, what you're doing. That way the listeners know exactly what you got going on.
Yeah, honestly, the board game thing is so far-fetched for me. Last time I played was, I would say, like early teenage years. But like a lot of the things that I do is more so like sports. I like sports video games, NBA 2K, Madden, things like that. Really big in first-person shooters. I just like the challenge of, battle royale scenes and, out of 150 guys coming in first place. I like that challenge aspect of it. But board games is something I always wanted to do. When we have events like out here in Florida, little parties, get-togethers, we would play those. But as far as on the regular, it's not something that I do. But I've always been open to learning more games and playing more as well.
Well, you come to the right place. So I hope I can be a good teacher. That's the idea, right? Is making sure that someone's first experience is something that is enjoyable. So
Definitely.
What I've done is I spoke to you about things that you're interested. You pretty much said I'm open to anything, which is good.
Exactly.
It makes me feel good, but also makes the challenge even harder because like I'm gonna go sometimes to things that I enjoy, things that I like, which can be a little bit challenging because I think sometimes I've brought some games out to the table and people are like, oh, that's kind of boring, or that just doesn't fit my niche. Your cousin, my wife, Delilah, is really big into, thematics, themes behind games. And honestly, this game, while the theme of the game is, you're travelers trying to travel through, different parts of the country, of the United States, trying to build trains, make routes, and connect cities. The theme is that, you're building those cities. So you kind of feel like you're doing what you're doing, which is, it's good. So for those that are watching, if you're new to the channel, we want to let you know, thank you. Down below, you're going to be watching this later on YouTube or whatnot. Hit the subscribe button. If you're following on Twitch, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, whatever the case may be. This is our first time doing this. So if I have some technical difficulties, AJ's the pro. But if I have some technical difficulties, no problem. If you want to comment below, please comment down below with whatever if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube or Twitch. We're going to try our best to engage with you guys here as we're doing this. So again, bear with us. But here, the idea of this game, Ticket to Ride, which is a classic. It's something that's designed by Alan Moon, published by Days of Wonder Games. It's a beautiful game where pretty much you're trying to create routes. So in the beginning of the game, players are going to be dealt a set number of destination tickets. And those destination tickets, you're actually going to be scoring different points. And I'm going to pop that on here. So we're just going to ask that AJ doesn't look at the screen on my screen because he'll be able to see exactly what's going on this screen. So he's going to focus on his screen. But if you see, guys, down in the bottom of my screen, you'll see that I was dealt 3 different destination tickets and they have different point values. So I'm trying to connect train routes between one city to the next. And then as I build those cities, if I create that route, it's actually I'm going to score points for that at the very end of the game. Now, any train ticket or destination ticket that I do not complete, or that me or AJ do not complete, is going to be negative points at the end of the game. If you see on the left-hand side of the screen, there is going to be some train tickets that we're going to be trying to acquire. On our turn, you have one of three things you can do on your turn. You can either play train cards to lay trains out to connect routes, or you can actually draw 2 train tickets from the left-hand side of the board. It allows you to add those to your hand. Now you'll see that there is a wild locomotive, which is the second train from the top left. That's a wild card. So if I was to draw that, instead of drawing 2, I can only draw one of them. But if I draw blindly from the deck, it will allow me I can actually keep that one along with drawing something else. So there is no hand limit to how many train tickets you can get on your turn. When you get those train tickets, that's one action, and it goes on to the next person's turn. Again, the next thing you can do is you'll see some of the train routes on this map are color coded. So for example, from Helena to Duluth, it requires 6 orange trains. So you would have to discard 6 orange train tickets to be able to lay your trains on that track, connecting those cities. Again, you're trying to connect those routes, also trying to be a little bit sneaky in how you connect those tracks, because once a route is taken, your opponent can't take that route. So there's going to be a little bit of cutthroatness in this game, which I like. It definitely is very strategic at 2 players. And then the last thing you can do is, if you want to get more destination tickets, you can draw, I believe it's 3 destination tickets, and you're forced to keep 1, which can be a gamble because you might get something that you have no possible way of getting it. So I want to just give a shout out to my buddy Dave Orso, who's here. He said, Ticket to Ride is a classic. It is a great game. This is one of those games that we call it an evergreen game. It's one of those gateway games, kind of gets people into it. It's one of the first games I've had in my collection. So also, as you build these routes, just know, AJ, for yourself, that the person who connects the longest continuous route, I don't think I've explained this to you, is going to get a bonus point of 10 points at the end of the game. So that's another way to score points, is connecting one continuous long train. So one question
for you. The gray little train blocks that you see on the screen, can those be, that's the wild card usage, or is that?
No, the wild card usage, you would, let's say if you were doing that orange, you can put instead of orange, you could use the wild cards. Now the gray just means you can use any color, but they all have to be the same color. So if you see the train route from Calgary to Helena is 4 gray, you could use 4 green to do that, or 3 green and a wild.
And then if you use the green, and that'll be 1 long train connection right there.
Yeah, so
that'd be 8 total.
It's going to pretty much be you're going to be able to do the 4, and then you'd have to do the next connection. So you can only make 1 connection between 2 cities on a turn.
Okay.
So Dave over here is already, listen, I'm the teacher. Listen, Dave, I don't even I teach games and I lose them all. So he says, AJ, block jazz as much as you can. Yeah, so that's the idea. Is like when you start noticing train routes, is to try and block, which is it's a heavy strategy of my wife, and I'm probably sure she's probably watching somewhere. This is a game that she loves. So pretty much right into it, AJ, what you're gonna do, you have 3 different train tickets in front of you. Look at the map, take some strategy on what you think would be a good route to take. I know I'm not going to get any help from anybody who's watching, but I have some tickets here. Let me see what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to definitely keep that one. And you know what? Let's go here. I'll take. So you can keep all 3 if you want. You can keep 2. Let's start with those. I'll keep those. So once you select the up to 2. Then you get dealt a hand of cards, and then you will pretty much go from there. And I believe.
So I'm picking one.
You can pick up. You can pick all 3 of the cities if you want. Those routes, but you have to keep 2.
Okay. This is the rookie in me. I'm clicking on the city itself. Please choose some tickets. We will play first.
So you see at the bottom, when you click your tickets, they'll highlight in, I think, a blue color. It'll allow you to select what you want.
Okay.
All right. That means that we're ready to go. So looks like it should be your turn. It's saying your turn first?
I'm gonna assume so. No, it's
All
not
right.
letting me. It's not letting me click anything. So that'd be, I think,
All
on your
right.
end.
Yeah, so it's on my end. All right. So what I'm gonna do, we'll take that one and we'll draw from the top. Actually, no, we're gonna draw. So the bottom deck, which the trains, is another one. So I drew 2 trains, and it passes the turn to you.
Okay. And then I have 4 trains on the bottom of my screen. Is that where you're drawing from?
You're going to be drawing from the left-hand side of your screen. You'll see that there's like 5 of them that are face up, and then at the very bottom there's a gray deck that has a locomotive on it. So you can either draw from there or draw from what's up, like face up. And you'll see that as you pick from the deck, the wild card becomes unavailable to you because you can only pick up 1.
So I got to draw 2 train cards.
Correct.
Ooh, okay, I think I'm getting a little hang of this.
All right, so I'm going to do my first. And so what you do is, if you want, you're going to take whatever color. For example, I'm going to lay some trains, and I'm going to do them right here. So that's my 3 orange, and I can play my 3 trains right there. So that's my first connection, and it passes to you.
Huh. You don't say. So I could pick up again. Okay, I get it. Now, what does the gray cards mean? That's for the gray on the map?
You mean, no, the gray, that's the face down deck. So you can either draw from the face up cards, or you can draw blindly from the actual draw deck.
Okay. But I'm saying, like, in my hand, I have 3, so I know I'm not supposed to say this, but hold on, I think I got it.
So you should have the colors. You should either have white, orange, pink, blue, green. So yeah.
I have red, purple, green, blue, and then like gray or black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's black. Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Okay,
I got it. I got you. All right.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah, so all the trains match some city. So the turns go fairly quickly. You figure out, hey, I need to get cards. I know there's a strategy that people just like to collect a bunch of cars and then try and lay trains down late, which can work. But in some situations, when people are laying trains fast, some of your routes get taken.
And I'm just following on my card, obviously, the city to the city. All right, I
Correct.
got this.
Yeah,
I got this.
Yeah. All right, so you have your first connection. It'll pass over to me. So I'm gonna keep trying to collect some of these yellows, and I'll pass the turn to you. Again, those that are listening, you can follow AJ for the video gamers out there. And even if you're not a video gamer, you're just interested in the hobby, and follow him on twitch.tv/NikeFlyFamily. And I'm actually going to post that in the chat right now, as well as I'll put a ticker on that lower below in a little bit.
I appreciate it.
Oh no, thank you so much. So I'll place a banner down below. While it's your turn. So how are you liking the whole Twitch community and streaming and all that other stuff? I know something you've been doing for some time.
Yeah, right? It's definitely, I would say, different. Like as far as like the acquisition, trying to acquire the viewership or whatnot. But I use it more so as a platform to connect a lot of my friends, because it was just something that we picked up as a hobby, and we all just had computers and whatnot. So we was like, why not try it out, see what it is? So we kind of, when we play together online streaming. So it kind of makes it a little bit more easier trying to interact with people.
Awesome. Yeah, I know myself. It's something that even like this, there's in the Twitch board game community is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a tight knit community. It's board games. Obviously, Twitch was primarily done for video gamers, But
Yeah.
what's awesome is the fact that a lot of board gamers using, especially with the pandemic now, has gotten a lot of people to try and find ways to play games digitally.
Yeah, I like it because you get the interaction without feeling isolated, like at home by yourself or whatnot. So you're still able to play the games just on a different, like an internet format.
Exactly. And I think, even some games you've been able, there are ways to find some games that you can actually play, not only just digitally like this, but people have actually used the physical copies of the games and used cameras and whatnot to play. That's been good, like some party games and stuff like that. And a lot of publishers have done a good job at trying their best at making sure they allow some of their games to just place them free online. Like I know there's a company called Check Games, CGE Games, where they do like a party game called Code Names. They have a multiple, you could play like in teams, or you can play a 2-player, which is pretty cool. It's a really fun game. We got to play it one time. And it's like it's a cooperative word game, the 2-player version, but it works really, really well on their platform. And it's one of those that you can have fun, have a great time, like hop on a Discord, hop on a video chat like this and play.
Yeah.
And it's a blast. It's definitely a game that I think it's one of those games that, like, when you look at like party games and you think of like gestures and all those types of games that people think of party games, it's one of those that's just as popular as that's kind of gained traction, but it started off as one of those modern board gaming hobbies. So
definitely, it's something I'd be interested in. Like I said, I've always had the interest of board game concept or just in general, but just like you said, having that or finding the personnel to play the games, it's not for everybody, or not that it's not for everybody, but everybody hasn't been exposed to it. Like me, for instance, where I know I'd enjoy it, I just haven't had the exposure to it enough.
Yeah. So that's your cousin, my brother-in-law, in the chat, checking us on YouTube, saying, "What's up, Frank? How's it going?" Also have Dave again, going to give you some tidbits. So there you go. He says the last little tidbit for AJ is if it's you haven't said it already, Jazz, try to connect your roots together to really go for that longest train bonus. So 10 points can really make or break that game. So what he's saying is if you keep that train like a continuation of a train, you'll see that you can still score. You definitely will get that 10. You can get a chance to get that 10 point bonus, which is crucial, which works really cool. I've taken some strategies. I'll be honest. I'll tell you what strategy that I've done sometimes in this game is I will play my 2 cards that I have, and I try to keep my routes fairly close, and then I will just try and build a long train.
Okay.
And then I'll start drawing the destination tickets later on, and then try and see if that long train is close to whatever destination tickets that I draw, and then try and branch off of that way. So there's a multiple ways and different strategies in this game, which I do like. The game is fairly simple. People who are familiar with games like Monopoly and things like that, everybody's familiar with Monopoly. This is one of those games that has kind of crossed over because it's sold millions of copies worldwide. And there's so many versions of this game. There's a New York map, Africa map. It's all.
Is that what you sent me? Like the expansion where it's
Yeah, and I want to give a huge shout out to Jeremiah on our Facebook group. He's also in our Discord. He's actually fairly new to our group, but he actually had a couple some extra copies of this the game here for Steam to be able to gift. So he actually gifted, and actually he was the one that was able to get AJ these copies and also some expansions, so he could actually play this as well with us. So that was nice of him to do that. And he's fairly new, and he ran track with my wife. He was a pole vaulter, if I remember correctly, for Messiah College. Well, they're now Messiah University, but big shout out to them. So big thanks to Jeremiah for that. And here goes Frank in the chat. He says, board games do have a stigma of being long and boring and never really piqued my interest until I sat down and took the time to learn it from Jazz. Frank, thanks so much. And honestly, I think that it has that stigma, right? That people get to the point where like, oh, it's boring. It's not as entertaining as this. But I always say it that when it comes to a board game, for me, it's about connecting with the people that you're with, right? Like you play video games and you're connecting on stream, playing those online games. It's about the community that you're with. And if you can find a game that everybody can get around, whether it's a theme you like, I always say that there's a theme of a type of game for everyone. It's just finding what that is.
Exactly.
And for me, it's not like, obviously you see the board game collection behind me. I'm up to like I'm pushing 200. But for me, it's not about like, I want to get board games into the hands of more people because I want to build, you don't see as much family around the table now, right? Families don't have dinner together, whether it's dad working late, mom working late. And sometimes it's not for the sake of the parents not wanting to do it. Sometimes it's the nature of, having to work hard to be able to provide for family, right? Where dad has to work 2 jobs or mom's working 2 jobs or mom's working in the day, or dad's working during the day while mom takes care of the kids. Or even if it's not mom or dad, maybe it's, grandmom raising the kids, whatever the case may be. Maybe it's 2 moms, maybe it's 2 dads, whatever the case may be of that family dynamic. We know that things change where, sometimes the nature of life, not only in America, all over. I just had my friends Amy and Maggie from Australia on my channel, and they said it's the same thing on Australia. It's a lot of it is the hustle and bustle of work that makes it difficult for families to connect and do that. So, I didn't have enough cards. I didn't realize that. But yeah, so with getting board games into the hands of more people, I think it will definitely enhance that family dynamic of people getting together. And that's what it's me. If I can get one board game into someone's household so that they can enjoy that time together, and if they could play it as much as they want, let it burn out, that's fine, but having something to do other than just, always being in front of your devices, always being in front of a video game, and not to say that video games are bad or movies or TV are bad, because I love them all. But, that's what the idea is here, the lobby of hobbies, right? It's about a bunch of hobbies. I like to do outdoors activity. I know you're very big into sports and things like that, and you just came back from a snowboarding trip, right? So
yes, an eventful one.
So
I held my own this time.
Well, I think you need to talk to your cousin because I'm not sure if he held his own. Not Frank.
Tion. Yeah, he reached out to me via Snapchat, and he told me about his delightful experience on a snowboard.
That's what we'll call that, right? Delightful.
Yeah, exactly.
Delightful. So again, I want to thank everybody for those that are in chat. We have 6 people with us today. Feel free, again, comment below, share the stream if you want to share the stream anywhere. Let people know exactly what we're trying to do here. And again, if for those that might be interested in maybe getting together, connecting, if you're watching, you haven't played a board game and you want to learn something, I'm always willing to teach. That's the idea with this this challenge series, is just for me to challenge myself to teach people about the hobby. But if you want to learn, please feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me through whatever platform, right? Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube, and it's at Lobby of Hobbies. And before we get done, I'll actually post all that stuff in the chat as well. So again, I'm new to all this stuff, so having all this things preset and all those crazy emotes and all that stuff that people have, I love it. I'll get there one day.
All right, so I don't know if I'm doing this the right way, but when I connected my city, is there some kind of alert that I get? Like I use the wild cards. Does that contribute to the color that I connected it to?
Yeah. So
okay, cool.
The wild cards will go right into it'll automatically, like, let's say if you don't have enough to complete, let's say you don't have enough for these greens between Kansas City and Pittsburgh, but you had, let's say, 2 greens and you had 3 wilds, it'll automatically put the 3 wilds that you had in there.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and for those that are listening, even for yourself, like this game, this is a bigger boxed game, but I think you can probably find it as low as maybe $30 for those if you used market. But there also is, you can buy it at Target, at Walmart. So this is a very accessible game. But what the company has also done is they've created 2 smaller versions. I believe it's the new Ticket to Ride New York, which is a small box. It's probably about a $20 box, and it's great. It's a smaller map, plays within 30 minutes. sometimes even faster than that. And it will allow you to, it's very good at a 2-player count. So that's one worth checking out. And I believe the other one is Japan, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong, but it's another small box as well. And I want to say, actually, it's London. Ticket to Ride London, and then Ticket to Ride New York. And the London one, I think, is instead of trains, it's the double-decker buses. And then the one that is New York, I think, is either it's not subways. I think it's taxis. So
okay, yeah, I'm interested to see the actual board game itself. I want to see. I mean, does it directly correlate to how it is online? Like, do you have actual train pieces or?
Yeah, you actually have little 3D train pieces, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
And what's also awesome is there's a beautiful anniversary edition that has where the train pieces are metal, and that's like, it was one of those where when it came out, I think it was like $100, which is expensive for a board game, right? But people love this game. But the secondary market for those that are, if you're not familiar with it, like there's some games that are just hard to come by. They're only printed for so long, and that one right now I've seen it upwards to over like $250 for that. And so this is not only a hobby to play, but there's some people who just collect games.
Stuff, yeah.
And I'm one who is very very big on trying to acquire games in my collection that are hard, because I do like trying different games, but I also, if I don't like a game, I want to be able to move it easily, right? So
exactly.
whether it's through a trade or through a resell, so sometimes I want to get some money back. So sometimes investing in some games that are going to be hard, or you're going to get your money. That's another awesome thing about this hobby. It's like people who collect like baseball cards, right? They come or sports cards, or even action figures, right? So there's a hobby for everyone out there, and it's just trying to find what that hobby is and investing in it.
I definitely agree. Picking my second card. All right.
All right.
I'm starting to see a little trend up top. I just.
Yeah. So I'm trying not to be too obvious, but I think I am being pretty obvious.
The conversation. You got me sucked into the conversation. I'm zoned in right now, and I'm looking up. And I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of purple there.
Well, is my tactic working?
It did now, but now that I caught wind of it, now I have to come up with a strategic plan to stop the madness. And it's not looking too good.
Well, I will say that one of my connections is not the easiest to make, but we'll see.
It's saying I have. Oh, yes, sir. Let me see something here.
Man, like people just chop on stream just to kind of to rag on me. Of course, there's my wife telling me, "Let's go, AJ." Choo choo, choo choo.
I'm on the struggle bus, but now as I'm playing more, I'm learning the concept of it. So I forgot the gentleman's name that told me that about the blocking and those strategies.
Yeah, that's Dave.
Now I'm starting to see it.
All right, so it's.
This game is definitely fun, though.
Yeah, it's one of those that you can kind of you can pick up and teach anyone within 5 minutes. You have the concept, and even if you want to say, hey, just pick up trains. Just start by picking up trains, and then I'll teach you how to lay them as you go down. It's one of those that you can kind of learn, and then people I have a bunch of people that say, oh, let's play this game again, and an average takes about 45 minutes, but it's one of those games that even with that play time, that's on the shorter end when it comes to some board games, right? There's some board games, like if you're talking to Dave here, Dave's got some games that'll easily last you 4 or 5 hours.
Monopoly style.
Oh, well, it'll last Monopoly style, but it's not going to feel like Monopoly style. How about that? It's going to feel like you're actually doing something for the entire time, not just like.
And that's what I'm saying here. You say like the average is 45 minutes, but like between the thinking and strategizing, that goes pretty quick, for a board game.
Yeah, and that's and some people like are really big into trying like I've tried getting into the what we call heavier games, because games are weighted dependent. Like there's a website called Board Game Geek that like I think of it like a game informer magazine, I guess, for video games. But this is like a huge forum, a website dedicated to board games. That's the number one board game website out there. But it pretty much allows people to go to that site and has every game that's pretty much been published, gives you all the information about every single game. But they have a ranking system that will let you know the weight of the game, like how easy it is compared to how complicated it is, and they rank it from a 1 to 5 level. And I just started getting into the heavier games, like the 3.5, the 3.5, a little bit closer to 4 and over 4, which some of those games will last 3 hours. And some of them are on my shelf. I honestly haven't played them yet. I think the highest one was maybe like a 4.2. But that game, while it was heavy and it took me about 3 hours to play, the whole entire time I was engaged. I didn't feel like I was, missing out or losing out on anything.
Definitely.
Like, so in that almost 3.5 hour time, I think it was 3.5 hours that we played. I completely, was engaged, and it didn't feel like that. I at the end I was like, man, I wish I had more time. So obviously I did complete one. So that was so now we'll see.
At the bottom, my godfather and uncle just texted me to get him. Maybe trying to, I guess, beat you, but I think I'm disappointing at the moment. At the bottom left, where you see our tickets from the cities.
Yes.
There's a 0 and a 3. Does that mean that I've completed 0 and I have 3 still to go?
I'm trying to look exactly where.
Bottom left under the chat box, you see like your cities there. It's like,
yes.
Alrighty.
So there should be 2 cities that are there. If it's green, it's completed. If it's not, if it's red right now, like mine, I have 1 that's completed. So it gives me a 1 green and then a 1 in a red on my side.
Which obviously means that you connected the top, the track up top.
Yes, and it showed you that. Yep.
I thought I connected Toronto to Miami with the wild cards, and I did not. So back to the drawing board. That sound at the end too, where it's like the cling. It reminds me of the NBA draft when the pick is up.
Oh yeah.
Keeps throwing me off, but I like it. Oh my! You're going for the record in this game.
No, your cousin has the record. She's the monster beast at this game.
I believe it. And I remember times where I'd visit visit the family back up north, and we were at Frankie's house, and you guys had a couple of games out. We played out there in the living room. So the more the merrier. The bigger the group, that I feel like the more fun I have.
Yeah, that's one thing about this hobby. Like there's, you can have games that play well at 2 players. You have people if people who are introverts, they just like to solo stuff. There's games that you can play solo. But you have games that you can play, like where there's a genre they call roll and write. You don't have to worry about the genres, but like some of those boxes say it plays anywhere from like 1 to 99 players, because it's just like it's almost like if you think of like the closest thing I could think of is like a tic-tac-toe puzzle or a crossword puzzle. It's almost like, but think about that crossword puzzle like being like Tetris shapes and stuff. So you pretty much give everyone a sheet, no matter how many people, everybody gets a sheet. And then like almost like in a bingo style, you're revealing cards or you're doing things, and everybody's going to be drawing on their sheet and trying to score who scores the most points. So yeah, there's something for everyone, which is something that I do enjoy about this hobby, is, player count. So if I would say the ideal is probably about like having 4 players, because you can pretty much play almost every game that's out there with a 4 player count. But it's awesome because, especially the pandemic has been, it's been heavy on a lot of board gaming groups where people are playing, just strictly 2 player games.
Definitely.
While Well, my wife Delilah, she does enjoy games. She's not an avid gamer like I am, but we have a lot of two-player only games in the house because she is the one that I primarily play games with.
Okay.
And so I know a lot of people who are big into the hobby have tried to start converting their significant other into trying these games out, and they've done well, especially during the pandemic with some finding a good two-player game. I have a buddy from New York who his wife she played games, but there's certain games that she wouldn't. But hey, since the pandemic, they tried some things, and it's opened up another aspect of things that they can do, which has been pretty cool to see. And I've seen that throughout the hobby. People are saying, my husband is not into games, or my wife isn't into games, my children isn't into games. Like, what do I do? Like, what kind of games should I try? Because the only people I'm seeing during this whole pandemic and because of COVID is my family. So I don't get a chance to get with my game group. But it's awesome to see, like, on the different Discord and Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, people sharing, what's been working for them, which is awesome to see that community building.
Definitely agree. A lot of hobbies were realized, whether it's happiness or brings money, whatever it is. But this whole pandemic has caused some good in certain aspects of it. So
yeah.
I feel like it's brought the most out of a lot of people. Now, I'm confused as to why I have not connected Miami and Toronto already.
Well, because you still have the pink, and the pink. There's a pink and there's a blue that still is going down to Miami down here.
Oh, so I have to connect pink and blue?
Pink or blue. So right now, like, from Charleston to Miami requires 4 pink, or from Atlanta to Miami requires 5 blue. That will make a connection from wherever you're trying to go to Miami.
Oh, wow. I'm over here thinking that. Wow. Got it. Oh, man, I like this game. Now I'm starting to see. There it is.
There
This
you
whole
go.
time I was sitting on those trains. I'm glad they can't see my screen. They probably in the chat right now.
You're like, why hasn't he been playing them yet?
I'm like, wait a second. So I can connect multiple lines to and get more points, or is it once you
you can connect like your one connection from Toronto to Miami. You can interlink that with another connection, have it be all one all one train.
Gotcha. So that's why yours at the top looks like 75 train cards.
and you'll see that my trains are actually connecting 2 of my tickets just with all those trains, and it's just in one straight line. And you'll see, and we mentioned it before the stream, like right underneath the city of New Orleans, that red connection between New Orleans and Miami, you'll see that there's a bunch of trains there, right? So there's a train for one. So anytime you make a connection for one train, it's going to be worth 1 point. Anytime you make a connection worth of 6 trains, it's 15 points. So
that's the scoring algorithm. How does that work? But now that you're saying that, it makes sense.
Yeah, and you'll see that. You'll see, like, right now you're at 35, I'm at 56, and that's just because I have some longer train routes in there. Yeah. So that's another aspect of when you're playing this game is continuously, I'll just build some long trains, and maybe that'll kind of help me, and then try and build some, just draw some tickets later on. So those are just some things to think of and try. So
definitely,
like, I don't have any other train tickets. I'm just going to start building trains.
My. That's a long train there, brother.
And again, like I said, this will go until someone gets down to, once they have like 2, I think it's 2 trains left in their stack.
Yes.
And then everybody takes one more turn, and then that's the game. All right.
It doesn't even look like I could finish my last connection.
And sometimes you might have to take a detour. And if you just kind of like look at your trains, like right now you have 17 trains left. It's just to the right of your score, and that'll let you know, like, all right, do I have enough to start making some connections, or do I take the route and try and draw more train tickets, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw more destination tickets, which are above this white train up here, this train card. So if I click on that, it says, do you want to get some new tickets? I'll say yes. It'll draw me 3. and then from that I can choose to try and complete something, and I have to draw something. So let's see. You know what? Let's go. Can I do that? Will I be able to make it?
Now the color of the trains, though, that's set in stone, right? So you see how it's like blue, orange, white already. Like those have
Yes,
to be those color cars,
correct.
right? Okay. No, I'll definitely. This game is definitely a good one.
Let me do some calculation here. Let me see if I have enough trains to make this.
Maybe we should keep talking in the meantime, so I could try to derail your train.
I don't have enough for that. Let's see.
Love to hear it.
Let's see.
I think
All
we
right.
have it wrapped up already, but I just want to make the score respectable for the first timer.
All right. So let's do. You know what? Let's try this. Let's see if this will work. I'll try this. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but we'll see. It could be interesting.
Oh, it's my turn now. Okay.
Yeah. So being that I drew tickets instead, it showed me 3, and I had to at least keep 1. I kept 2 of them.
Okay.
And then it'll pass directly to your turn.
Trying to see what I can do here. Okay, I'm only down 16. Does your bonus accrue at the end of the game? The extra 15 for or whatever it was for the longest car, or?
Yes, it'll get at the very end of the game. It'll calculate that. So you still have that. You honestly you would still potentially still have that opportunity to grab that if you can make connections that way.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So let's do this because things are starting to close up now. So let's do that.
I'd have to go through the country about 3 times to beat the train.
So for those again that are watching, I want to thank you guys for coming through. You'll see down below if you want to head over to twitch.tv/NikeFlyFamily. That's AJ's Twitch account where he streams video games on during the week. And when you play a Call of Duty, what else do you play, AJ?
Yeah, like most sports games in Call of Duty, Rocket League, just any competitive sport game.
Nice, which is awesome. I know, I used to have the PS4, and then I got rid of it. Just because I wasn't playing it. I was playing a lot of board games, but
yeah.
I think the newest thing that I'm interested in is the Nintendo Switch is a pretty sweet thing. I know a lot of board games like this game I think is on Nintendo Switch as well, and like this game is also they have an app for this as well on on iPhone, on Android. So like if I wanted to, I think I tried talking my wife into joining us for a game. She could have actually just played right in digitally even if she wasn't on stream. So which is pretty cool. Like you can still have someone join in the game as well.
It's a little. I mean, it's chaotic with 2 people, so I can only imagine 3 or 4 on this one.
Oh yeah, it gets crazy with 4.
And oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a fun game. I enjoy it. It's not too complicated, but it's one that, like I said, it introduces people to the hobby, and I think it does a really good job. It has simple mechanics, but it works well. It's an elegant design, and then the different expansions you have sometimes add little elements. The Europe expansion adds train stations where I think if I remember correctly. I haven't played it as much as my wife has, but I think if you go through the train station, I think you can pay to the opponent or something like that to use their station, or they get something in return for going through one of their stations if they build a station. But there's a bunch of different versions of this game, and it's got a lot of a lot of different maps. So if you just want to say, I just want to change something up, you can just buy an expansion that only has just the new map, which is pretty cool.
This This Portland one is tough.
Yeah, I think I have
feel like
Portland
I'm
on lock.
playing. I feel like I'm playing Uno with house rules, where you just keep picking until you get what you need. Oh no! Wait, I get dinged on the points. I'll get dinged right for having cards in my hand at the end too.
Yeah, anything that you don't connect, it would be negative points.
We might be going down to 0 here, brother.
Don't worry, people are gonna say like I'm an abusadora. I'm abusing you because like
it hurts.
guys, I gotta win a game every once in a while. When my wife is not here, I gotta win a game. That's how I look at it. All right, so there goes Miguel saying, "Hey guys, I thought I could go somewhere, and no, was that how much it would cost me?" Nice to see you guys. Nice to see you too, Miguel. Thanks for stopping through. Appreciate it. All right, so is it back to my turn, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't have the tickets for that, so let's see. I got to draw to be able to get it. Let's see.
Holy moly, these cards aren't playing nice.
So as you can see, I have 5 tickets, 5 trains left. So the next, like if I do anything more than 3, it's going to trigger the end game. So if you want to work on trying to at least start getting some trains down, that might. And I'm still looking for a color. Well, I think I have it.
Just need to get some trains out of my hand.
And then what I'll do is I'll finish it here. This will give you one more turn left, I think, after this. Oh, I don't have it. I thought I had it. Oh, I need one more card. Okay, I think I got it now. I still got to draw. All right. The cards are never in my favor here. It's like, but they're my favorite today. I don't know. All right, so this should be the last of mine, I think, to lay down. No, what? I'm missing something?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a rematch at some point. I think I figured it out now.
Oh, definitely. We'll definitely have a rematch.
This game is definitely one that I could see myself playing more often, man. I like it.
Yeah, it's good, especially when it's like, you just have a chill game and just play something relaxed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to figure out. Do I need another? Yeah, it's good because Delilah has this game on her phone and her iPad. It's something that we could get a chance. We could link up. We could hop on Discord or something like that.
You did say that we could.
Yeah, that was cool. Like I said, someone can be on the phone, someone can be on Steam like this. Someone can be.
So it's cross-platform compatible.
Yeah, it's cross-platform compatible. Yeah, so we could all just hop on a Discord chat and just all voice chat each other as we play. We don't all have to be in video chat either, which is cool.
Definitely.
So let's see. I guess I got to go this way.
Still sitting on 5 trains.
I'm trying to figure out why I couldn't make that connection. I don't remember. I'm like the rules are escaping me, but I think I can make. I still think I can make it. We'll see.
I just need 1 card and I cannot get it. Oh my goodness.
All right, so this should allow me to make this connection. There we go. So that's all I was able to lay all my trains out. So now this will be your last turn.
So I got to try and get as much out of my hands as possible with this, huh?
Yeah, so try and go for a 6. That'll give you, if you got a 6 spot, place it somewhere. It'll give you 15 points.
I did it.
Nice. All right, sweet. So then it'll calculate the score from here, which is cool. It'll actually do everything on its own. Actually, I think I get one more turn. Doesn't really matter. I don't have any trains to play, right? So
I had one color eluding me. I just needed one more of it, and I couldn't get it.
all right, so that should actually be the turn, which I don't know why it came back to me. All right, you use the wrong train color to claim this route. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out. Is it your turn? Is it showing it's your turn over there on that end?
There's nothing I could do. Like I can't drag cards or draw cards.
Yeah, which is weird. Maybe there's a bug. We'll find out. So pretty much. So how it would ended in a tie. Right. So pretty much how it would go. It'll actually calculate. And I'm not sure. Maybe the computer. So look, I told you that there was going to be. I said everybody I might have some issues. But yeah, no, I know I needed 6 trains, but for some reason I have no trains left. We both have no trains left. That was the end game. That was the last turn. But for some reason, Ticket to Ride didn't want to calculate our final scores. So how it would work, right now I have 77, you have 68. What it would do is it would look at the cards that are in our hand. It would look at whether or not we completed it. And then it would add the points that are on the card to our hands. And then it would subtract anything from that. So if I was to just go through, I've got 9, another 9. So 2 card, 5, a 4, a 4. Hold on, what do I have left here in my hands? Can I see them all? Let me see. Did it show me? So I have a 4, a 5, a 20, a 9. So I didn't even. I think I won, and then I think I get the longest.
I believe you did too.
But let's bring this back here. So, want to give a big shout out. Thank you for those that had stopped in chat. I want to appreciate it. It's awesome that you guys are here. Again, the challenge is something we're going to be doing at least twice a month is what we're going to be looking to do here at the time. It's just, so if you know someone who might be interested, hey, swing them our way. I'm actually going to drop in the banner really quick down below my information. So you can join us on our Facebook group. If you just search on Facebook, the Lobby of Hobbies game group, or you just put at Lobby of Hobbies, you'll get to our Facebook page along with our Facebook group. The group is private, but just you can join. We give you access to the group. People much in the community just get a chance to talk about games, talk about hobbies in general. Does not have to be limited just to board games. Video games, outings, if you're camping, you like outdoor activities, indoor, whatever the case may be. Well, the idea is we want to share the hobbies that we enjoy so that people can discover something worth checking out. So whatever the case may be. But follow us there on Instagram and Twitter at Lobby of Hobbies, where we post things that we're doing, games that we're playing, also some our YouTube videos, things like that. And the idea that we have some videos that are up on our channel. They recently did a video for people who are big spades players, right? Because we know a lot of people who maybe don't play board games, but everybody knows a deck of cards, right? So on our channel, I put a video earlier this week that says it says the top 3 games that you would try and teach a spades player or someone who plays hearts or anything like, trick-taking games like that, but that lean more towards modern board gaming because, they have that feel of, getting someone playing something other than a standard regular deck of cards. So check that video out, whoever's watching. I'm pretty sure, I know Frank, who's in the chat, played the game Skull King, which was my number 1 game to teach someone who has spades. I call it Spades 2.0. It's not a team game. It's actually a solo experience. Everybody's trying to score that for themselves, but has that same element of trying to, place a bet on what books or which tricks you're going to take. So, I would always say if you play spades, you will like Skull King. And I know Frank got a copy for himself, and it's like $15 online through Amazon. But again, AJ, I want to thank you for coming through. You have anything, any streams coming up this week or next week?
Yeah, today I'll be on around 7 p.m. I appreciate you having me. It's definitely something that I can see myself doing more in the future. I'm a big space player too, so that game sounds like it's intriguing to me as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm sure there's actually a another platform that I use for digital games. It's called Board Game Arena, and there's a board game that I've recently taught to, your family, your cousins, and it was a game called The Crew, which is a trick taking game. Same thing like like Spades, but it's cooperative. So we're all working together to actually play the game. So we can actually play that game, get in a video chat if we want, privately and play that one to check that one out. It's fun. It's really good. And let's see, someone commented as well. So Delilah says, nice game. So Delilah, looks like AJ's down. He's a big Spades player. He wants to play some Crew. We're gotta get a digital game of The Crew going on.
I'm over here too. She loves Spades too.
Yeah, so that would be fun. I think from an aspect of trying something that's cooperative where we're working together, that would be something worth checking out. Again, thank you for coming through. Thank you everybody for watching. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, at Lobby of Hobbies. We're on Facebook. Also, this is the full unedited stream. This is going to be edited and cut down a little bit, just to kind of get an idea of. We want to get a last impression. So AJ, when it comes to this modern board gaming hobby, you told me you played stuff just outside of like Scrabble, Sorry, Monopoly. Being introduced to something like this, is this something that you would find yourself, trying to check out a little bit more and be more open to checking out?
Definitely, I would say so. Like I said, I love the strategic aspect of the game itself, where it's kind of like you're trying to block them at the same time as, increase your points or whatever the case may be. So I've always been a fan of strategic games. Like I said, Scrabble, things like that. I just like the challenge of it in itself, where you're trying to take away from the other opponent. And I'm losing my train of thought, but I like the game a lot, Jazz.
Nice. So there you have it. Listen, our first official The Challenge was a success. AJ, I want to thank you. We're going to cut this down, edit it to the point where we can kind of get your impressions when we added that in there, let the people know. So those that stop by, you got the full unedited version. Thank you. We'll check you out on the next episode of The Challenge. Again, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube, and we'll check you out. You guys have a good one. Check you later.